Hello, Internet. I am Leko, and this is Myst 3 Exile, third game in the Myst series. As I have currently been Let's Playing through, I did the first one, and I did Riven. And now I'm doing Exile, which I'm pretty sure I've said before is my favorite of the three that I've played so far. I played a little bit of Myst 4 when I found it at Goodwill, like several years ago, but I got distracted and never actually finished it, so maybe it'll be, when I do get to Myst 4, it'll be partially blind, but this is, Myst 3 Exile here, is about as unblind as it can get. This is the only one that I have actually, well, I mean, I did use a guide a little bit for Riven when I Let's Played it, but I have beaten this game before without a guide, like straight up, total, under my own mental abilities, solved all the puzzles in this game without needing to refer to a guide. So there's that. So I actually did a little bit of background research before starting this one, because I remember noting at the start of Riven that there was an Ubisoft logo, and I didn't know when Ubisoft got involved with the Myst franchise, but apparently it was, when they bought the rights to the Myst franchise from Cyan, so all the Myst games from 3 onward are by Ubisoft and not Cyan. So, and I guess when Riven was released on Steam, it was under Ubisoft's logo, so they added their intro to the opening and all that stuff. So that was an interesting thing I learned. So Myst 3 is completely independent of Cyan and any of the original people who worked on it, except for Rand Miller, who does return to play Atrus in every other Myst game as well. So, I think that the fans would have probably had a riot if they recast Atrus, so he stuck around to keep being the actor for Atrus. So apparently, something else I learned is when Ubisoft bought the Myst franchise from Cyan, they greenlit 2 games in the series. So they had Myst 3 and Myst 4, basically. But at some point, they canceled Myst 3. And then the game that was going to be Myst 4 was finished and released as Myst 3. So this is basically what they had in mind for Myst 4. If I'm remembering and interpreting what I read correctly, this was going to be Myst 4, and Myst 3 was originally something else that got cancelled. So this is it's a little bit vague where it takes place in the timeline because of that. I think it's I read that this is 10 years after all the craziness that went down in Riven. So we went to We went to Riven and captured Atrus' father and rescued his wife Catherine from a collapsing island world. And we fell into a weird tear in space and time or whatever, the Starfisher, and presumably ended up going home, because that was how we found the original Myst book that started off the whole series, because Atrus dropped it into the Starfisher, and we came across it in present-day Earth. So presumably the Starfisher somehow links to present-day Earth. So when Atrus kind of let us fall into it, he thought he was sending us home, so presumably that's what happened. But as for why we're suddenly back in this world after apparently going home at the end of Riven is anyone's guess. Maybe we tracked down the Myst book and wanted to visit Atrus again, which is actually how the game starts. it starts with an Ubisoft logo, but, you know. Ubisoft and Presto.
I realized as our group linked back to Dunny that we should not restore the city as we had planned. The once magnificent buildings lay in ruin, testament to the hatred that had consumed them. Too many people had fallen victim to that hate, to the prejudice and greed from which it sprang. Gazing out across the cavern, I decided to write another age, one that would help the Dunny survivors begin again, free from the tragedies of their past. So with my wife, Catherine, supporting me, I put aside that past to write a future. More than a year has gone by since I finished writing Relishon. I have a new daughter, who I hope will someday link to that age with me. And as I imagine Yisha meeting the Dunny, those brave men and women who are building a new life for themselves, I realize I've been given another chance as well. A chance to learn from my mistakes and leave the past behind me once and for all.
Gotta love that intro music. So epic. And hey, here we are. Well,
breathtaking, isn't it?
why, yes it is, Catherine.
We call it Tamana. We moved
I believe
here
this is
after
more
Atrus
scenery from New
finished
Mexico.
writing Relishon.
Sorry,
You
Catherine's
wanted
talking.
us to have a new home too? I'm so glad to see you. I told Atrus our paths would cross again. He was just going to grab something for your trip to Relishon, so he shouldn't be terribly long. Unless he decides to check over the whole house first, which means he could be hours resetting all his padlocks. But I know he was looking forward to introducing you to the Dunny, so he shouldn't be terribly long. Why don't you wait in his study?
Will do, after I finish talking about the game and stuff. Yeah. I'm pretty sure like this scenery is was shot somewhere in New Mexico, which is my home state, so you know, always happy to see stuff like that. I think I mentioned that in a note while I was watching the credits of Riven. So, oops.
I'm sorry, the other door.
Thank you for that, Catherine. So that's, I believe, Yisha.
You know, this trip is exactly what Atrus needs right now. I haven't been able to get him out of the house for months, ever since he found his journals out of place. But seeing how well the Dunny have settled in on Relishon should help him to finally relax.
Huh, somebody's been messing with Atrus's journals. Okay. So the first thing I remembered while when I was test recording this half an hour ago, there's a full 3D view. You can turn the camera any which way you want, and you can also lock it with a right click and interact with something specific, or you can just point over at stuff. I forgot that was a thing at all. Oh, this looks familiar. Let's go back to Riven. Oh. Maybe not. Can I read any of Atrus' journals? Nope. There's pictures of Sirius and Akanar. Yeah, we're not gonna see them again for a long time, but we are gonna see a lot of the effects of the stuff that they did that caused Atrus to have to seal them away in prison books, like we did with his father. There's Catherine and baby Yisha. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe it was Myst 4 that was 10 years after Myst 3. I remembered reading that this was 10 years after Riven, but you do you see Yisha again, and she's like a young child, like maybe 10 years old, so now that I think about it, that would make more sense. But, yeah, so after we dealt with Gen and everything, and Riven collapsed, Atrus wanted to write... He wanted to write a new home for his people, because they're kind of just scattered throughout all the different, like, worlds and stuff, and there's not a lot of them left. So he was like, I'll basically do what Gen wanted to do, but the right way, you know, not conquer, you know, new worlds to find a place for my people to live. He'll just create or link to one that doesn't have any people in it, and we'll settle all of the Dunny there. And he called that age Relishon, which is in a glass case over there, and it's locked up tight. Interacting with that book advances the plot, and I want to read this first. So Atrus wrote a letter to someone named Tammin. Thank you for responding so quickly to my request for Nora padlocks. As you know, security in Tamana has become an important issue of late. Perhaps I'm overreacting, as Catherine suggests, but the idea that someone may have been sneaking into my study, reading all of my journals, disturbs me. After what happened to my library on Myst, after my own sons, Cirrus and Akinar, destroyed so many of my books, I've come to realize how delicate the link is to my worlds. I've never been able to repair those burnt books to link to each age and find if the inhabitants survived. The padlocks won't change that situation, but they should ease my fear of trespassers considerably. So, Atrus thinks somebody's been sneaking around his house here and looking at his journals. And, we're eventually going to find out that he's totally justified in his paranoia. Because somebody has indeed been sneaking in here and reading his books. I'm not entirely sure what these tapestries are supposed to... are supposed to represent. I'm pretty sure this one is, Atrus and the remaining Dunny finding the ruins of their old civilization. And Atrus mentioned that he was like, yeah, we shouldn't rebuild this. We should just start over. And I think the word Relishon that he used to name their new age is like Dunny for like beginning, I think I read is what it is. So I guess Atrus is studying and learning better writing techniques, and he's like, yeah, I'll write us a new place to live. So that's kind of a... not really like... it's like backstory. Like, that's not remotely relevant to what we're doing in this game, because we're never going to get to go to Relishon, and we're not going to meet the Dunny like Atrus wanted. Let's take a look at this book. It's very pretty. I like the locking design and everything on it.
Well, my friend, I see you found a Relishon book.
Yes,
Catherine
indeed.
tells me you've been here for some time. I'm sorry if I've kept you waiting. But since we'll be gone a few days, I needed to secure some of my things. And I also wanted to bring you this. It's a journal I kept while I was writing Relishon. I thought you might find it interesting to read about what I'd hoped to achieve, compare it to what the age truly is.
Sure thing.
Well, just let me get my keys to unlock Relishon and we'll be off. Oh, and I'm interested in hearing what you've been up to in recent months.
Oh, hello.
No! No! Relishon!
Well, I'm going after that guy. So that was Savidro, played by none other than Brad Dourif, aka Chucky, the murderous doll. I didn't know that when I first played this game. I had never heard of him, so when I saw him, like, I've never seen any of the Chucky movies, so I don't know how, well, we're a lot. This starts off pretty quickly with the action, so we're chasing after Savidro because he stole Atrus's most important book. And we don't know why, and we don't know how to get it back. So, exposition time. Yeah, that was Savidro. He is from an age that Cirrus and Akinar went totally psycho on and basically ruined it. Like, apocalyptic level ruined it. And he's a little ticked off about that because he had family there, and they stranded him here because he went after them, and they beat the crap out of him and trapped him here in this world is called Jananan, by the way. That's where Savidro's been trapped for quite a while. He's gone a little bit insane, and I guess at some point Atrus came here just like on a nostalgia trip, because this is where the whole point of this island is. It's like a bunch of lesson worlds, basically, that he took Cirrus and Akinar to teach them about, different aspects of writing ages. So there's one that's like all nature-y, and it's about how like animals interact with each other, and plants and stuff like that. And there's one that's like machinery and like steam power and engines and all that. And there's one that's basically like screwing around with physics, like the laws of physics and all that stuff. So there's 3 ages that we're going to travel to from here, and eventually find a code that will get us into where Savidro's gone to hide. And it's kind of what Savidro stole the book because he wanted Atrus to follow him, but he wasn't expecting us to be there, so we kind of messed with his plan a little bit. Yeah, let's get to exploring and puzzle solving. So we can go up here. There's... Oh god, this control scheme takes a lot of getting used to. I like it though. It's a lot more directly interactive. What is down here? Oh, there's a big thing in the way. So, I do actually legit remember a lot of these puzzles. Like, I said that when I was playing Myst before, and it turned out I had forgotten like 90% of everything that you do. But, yeah, this one I have a lot more confidence in my ability to actually do. So we want to turn these to face each other. And there's somewhere where we shine a light through them and they reflect it to each one in turn. Nope. There we go. So yellow to red. And... well, there's a ladder there. I'm gonna do the swivels first because I remember 100% how to do this. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly where the start of it is, but there's somewhere where you like open a shutter and like reflect light from the sun into these. And then there's a puzzle where it basically makes like a color wheel around a bunch of buttons, and you have to enter the colors in the order that the light like goes from each one in sequence. So but yeah, eventually we'll get to that. Oops. Oh god, these controls. I like it, and at the same time it's very disorienting, because you can end up looking at something that you're not trying to direct your attention to. Can I... Oops. What's along the beach here? Oh, I think that's the... Oh, yeah. Okay. This is where you do the reflector thing. I should get through this game relatively quickly. I thought Riven was a lot longer than it turned out it was. And that might have something to do with... Oh, did I... Oh, dang it. No. Can I go back? Yes. Okay, good. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so now... Oh, there's a broken one. So I turn it to reflect into that one. So it's yellow, red. I should be writing this down, actually. So yellow to red. Oops. My pen's not working. Yellow, red. And then it kind of points you to where the next one is if you haven't done... Wait, what? I thought that was... Oh, it's yellow, blue. Why did I think it was red? Yellow, and then to blue. And then it goes all the way across the way there. Oops. Wait, what? Oh. I want to go to that one. Okay. Pretty sure I want to go to this one. And I want this one. Aimed at that one. Wait, what? Have I completely misunderstood this? I thought I remembered how this worked. Yellow, blue. Maybe I do go to that one. I thought it was more straightforward than it apparently is. So I want to go all the way around here. Ah. Wait a minute. Oh, you can look at each side. So... Oh my god, this point and click pseudo first person stuff is awkward. I don't know if I like it as much as I said I did. Okay. So that one is... The light's going into this one to the red. So yellow, blue, red? No, yellow, blue, green. And then it's clearly pointing at the red one here. But let's just double check that and make sure. Yeah, it is indeed. So yellow, blue, green, red. Yellow. It's pointing at yellow. Yellow, blue, green, red, yellow. There was... Oh, no, don't... That wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to go around it. Nope, just face that way. Okay. Right. Okay. So we're not gonna touch it again. So, back over to this one. To the yellow. And then purple. This one's already aimed right. Okay. And back to red? Is that right? Or red, blue, green, red, yellow, purple, then red? I think that's right, but I don't know how to... Oh, yeah. So this one needs to point... Not... Wait. Where is it pointing? Out into nowhere. That way. Ah! Yes! Right, that's right. Okay. And then over there is the door with the thing on it. So I guess there was one more in the sequence, but it's not like there. Another thing that Savito did was he changed a lot of... He broke some stuff and changed a lot of things that were supposed to work a certain way because he wanted to mess with Atrus when he lured him here. Okay, so this is the color wheel. So the code is in the order we turned all the things to face each other. So it is yellow, blue, green, red, yellow, purple, red. And just like that, it opens. And there's a book up there. But to access it, there's another code somewhere that will tell us what to do with all these. And yeah, whenever I find it, I will take a picture of that, because whenever I have tried to draw these circles and the little ball configurations, it has never turned out well. I actually have my old notebook from a very early time of me playing this game. It might have been the first time I played this game, actually. I have the notebook that I used, so I have all the I have some of the puzzle solutions in there, but the most noteworthy thing is my attempts at drawing the codes to those ball slider circle things, and they are messy and probably not all that helpful. So let's just explore a little bit and see if we can find some answers. I do recall... let's pull the obvious lever. Opens the door. And that opens the door. And this is, I want to say, where Savito kind of lived while he was trapped here. So he was working on a painting of his wife, who, as far as he knows, is dead because, of all the crap that Cirrus and Achenar did to his home world. And there's a lot of stuff in here that is helpful to us in later worlds that we will visit, like this in particular. Yeah, that this hint I completely misinterpreted the first time I played it, and I was trying to work out a solution that I wasn't supposed to figure out. I thought it was a mathematical puzzle. It was a physics puzzle. And we'll get to that soon enough. But, yeah. That really should have clued me in that, it's not a math puzzle, the world it takes place in is all about, physics and physical interactions and, forces like gravity and stuff. So, a math puzzle in a game like this would have been completely out of place and probably unsolvable for the majority of people who would play this game. So I was very stupid trying to go that route to figure it out. So what does this do? Electricity makes certain rocks float. We'll probably have to do something with electricity. Oh. And there's some kind of plant here. And electricity makes it open. It's like a pitcher plant or a fly trap. That is actually very important to remember as well, because so there's basically a hint for each of the 3 worlds that we're going to be visiting right here in this room. Oh, here's another one about the physics puzzle. So a ball of crystal is the same as 4 balls of this wood. Oh, and there's Savidro's journal. We'll need that. There's a lot of pages missing. You find more of them, as you go. So, off the bat, we've got a lot of reading to do, because Atrus gave us this journal to read while that he wrote while he was working on Relishon. I'm pretty sure this is entirely just backstory. But, yeah, like, it's not, there's not information in here that is vital towards, solving any puzzles at any point in the game. But Savidro's journal is a little more puzzle relevant. I have done it. I have used his swirling linking book to follow him. I touched my palm to its glowing panel and felt the tingling begin. There was a sudden sickening lurch inside my stomach, then I fell into the page. This has happened before, I know it. It happened the first time I came to this place, when I followed his murdering sons from Narayan. So Narayan is the age that Savidro is from, and it's the one that Cirrus and Akinar basically just destroyed. It happened when I used his hidden books, and it happened when I finally opened the machine, right before the fog first ate my mind. The fog didn't find me this time. When I opened my eyes, I was alone in a room. I was standing in the home of my betrayers. I couldn't move. I was afraid. I thought they'd know that I had come and would be waiting for me. Just like they had waited inside this very tusk. So he's talking about when Cirrus and Akinar basically ambushed him and left him for dead, stranded in Jananan. Because there's all the tusks that are basically the buildings, and that's where all the books are hidden. I was afraid they would tie me up again, the poison snakes would strike, but the silence was unbroken. The whole house was still, and without knowing what I did, I started to search. Without really knowing what I did, I started to search every room, every floor, every cabinet. I found his journals, Atrus's never-ending journals. I found the book that brought me back to this world, the lesson world he calls Jananan. Oh, Tamra, my love. So Tamra was Savidro's wife. How long have I been trapped here? How much of my life has been eaten by the fog? The face I see in the lagoon isn't one I ever remember wearing. So much older, so much more savage. But it is me. It is Savidro. And I remember what they did, how they led my people to death. I have returned several times now to Tamana. I am searching for some sign of his sons. I was certain they would run back to their father, but so much time has passed, so many years in which to forget about my people. Is that what happened, Atrus? Safe in your beautiful new home, enjoying life with your dear wife and family? Did you become so busy envisioning new worlds that you forgot the ones you had already created? Well, linked to, discovered. Because I think it's pretty well established that they don't create the worlds, they link to any number of infinite worlds based on the writing of the book that describes them. At least, that's one of the... We went over that in Riven, so, Gen thought he was creating the worlds. Atrus thinks they're just linking to pre-existing worlds. I must be very careful. I must not let them know that I am free. I will read what journals I can to figure out where his two sons are hiding. And when I've found the sons again, when I've got the whole family together, I'll bring them down. Atrus and his family will suffer the way I've suffered for years. Cirrus and Achenar are not in Tomana. Every day I become more and more convinced. Atrus' sons are not there. What happened, Atrus? Did you grow tired of them the way you grew tired of Narayan? Did you abandon them the way you abandoned my people behind your shield? It does not matter. I can take revenge against their father, now that I'm no longer stuck on Janan, and I can avenge all the dead in my world. I have already reopened his other books. I've begun making changes in those worlds, using his own lessons against him. There is still so much more work to be done, but eventually I will lure him into this tusk. I will find some way to make him follow me here from Tomana. For now, I'll concentrate on the Orbiter. It's not a natural part of this world. The material it creates is like nothing I've seen. It reminds me just a little of the shield. And if it's the same material, it can't be damaged. But perhaps I could damage the other devices. No, it cannot be true. Surely his journals deceive me. He says he's brought them back. He says he's given his dunny brethren new life. But how? How can one man have so much power? How can one man's writings reawaken a dead world? I don't know what this means. By all that is sacred, Tamara, what can it mean? It doesn't change a thing. I can still continue as planned. I can still seek revenge for my people. I will make my enemies suffer. By the weaving, Tamara, this changes everything. I have found a way to reprogram his scanning device. It requires scavenging parts from another mechanism in the tusk, but I think the gears I leave can still be operated by hand. So this part's important. We're going to need that in a minute. Let me just snap a picture of that. Boop. Okay. So I think he's talking about the elevator that we'll eventually use to go up into the room that he's in, but we can't do that quite yet. Oh, this one's also important. Probably a little easier to remember, but yeah. It is finished. All is ready for Atrus' arrival. Tonight I will sleep among the ghosts. Then tomorrow I will link to Tomana. When I link out, I will be carrying his book. May the spirits of my people serve to guide me in this. So yeah, Savidro's a little bit ticked off at Atrus, specifically Cirrus and Achenar, but since he discovered that they are not around for some reason that we may or may not have anything to do with, he decided to focus on Atrus instead. This elevator does not work yet? Question mark? Or maybe it does. No. Wait, oh yes it does. Okay. I know you had to go underneath it and mess with the mechanisms that Savidro talked about in his journal, but I didn't know if that was right now or a little bit later on. So now we can go down here. Well, this one I remember, because you just rotate it so the one is pointing at the missing one. Do that. What was this one? It was 2 in and 1 out. Phone, tell me the answer. Yeah. So I turn one of these to face out. And the other 2 should be left in. Okay. And then this one. One is at all the way at the bottom. I think I just bumped my microphone. I hope that wasn't too loud. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so it's 1. Okay, so they're 3 levels. So these 2 belong in the middle. There we go. Okay, let's get out of here. Call the elevator back. Okay, and now let's actually get inside it this time. And it should take us up. Oh. I don't think I did that right. If you do it right, I think the whole elevator turns with the outside cage. And it puts you on the inside of the room that you're trying to get into. Or maybe it's automatic that it doesn't work the first time because we have to watch this little bit.
Atrus? Is that you?
No.
Come to rescue your book so soon?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not Atrus.
Not yet, old friend. Not yet.
No, he's, Savidro's a little preoccupied. He's too busy to talk to us. So I guess this button just takes us down. Okay. I can still skip transitions. So let's try that lever again and see if it... Nope. Okay. I actually forgot to see where this goes. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? I can't just... Alright, I can't reach the lock. Okay. Yeah, we're going back down. I get it, I get it. Why did the stuff I did... not do what it's supposed to do? Let me bring up the diagrams again. Maybe those go at the top. No, they're definitely closer together than that. Maybe I didn't have this one quite aligned right. I don't really get how that makes any difference whatsoever. That's definitely supposed to be hooked onto there. Oh, wait. Okay, so that's the one that's facing out. I need it to be oriented the same way. That's probably what I did wrong. Alright, let's try that again. Bring it back down. Skip, skip, skip. Okay. Skip, skip, skip. Okay, now... the whole elevator should turn around. Or not. What the hell? Okay then. I know that's what you do. Like, 100%, that is absolutely what you're supposed to do. So there's 3 levels. 1, 2, and 3. Well, maybe it's 2, 1, 1. That doesn't seem right. maybe that's it. And then I have this one facing out, the other two are in, and should be in that position. So that the two... Oh wait, it's two out, not... Okay, that's what I did wrong. Two are facing outward. One is facing inward. So two out. And then this one's in. Okay, that must have been it. I was misreading the diagram. Okay. So let's try this one more time. Pull the lever. Weird double lever. Double lever. It's still not doing it. Why? That's how the puzzle works. It's not even really a puzzle. It's just find the thing in the journal and make everything do the things. Oh. I'm stupid. This was right. This one was wrong. That one was right, but I messed it up. Okay. Now this should be right. God. Yeah. Spinny thing. Okay. Now it's gonna do it right. Yes, the whole elevator turns. See? Told you. I'm smart. And then that goes back around. So now when we open the door, we'll be facing into the room that Svidro's in. And this is a very short game. We'll go talk to Svidro, get the book back, take it back to Atrus, and leave. Right? We don't even need to solve all the other puzzles on this island. We might have to solve all the other puzzles on this island. Yeah. Okay, well, now that I've gotten access to this room, this plot-relevant room of plot relevancy, I think that is a good place to stop for now. So I will see you next time.